Lasco Atkins. I'm the director of Junkmail, aka Yao Yao Shi. Now, I did this film with a friend of mine who is also producing and all that, and he brought most of the cast and the talent on, and we set all around Massey University, actually, which was where he was living at the time in the dorms. And it came about because there was a Fringe film competition. You know, Fringe was around at the time. It's not just in England, it's not in America, it's actually all over the world, which I realized. So I was part of the film division, and I made a film and tried to compete. And like most of my stuff, it was way better than everybody else concept-wise, but it still got overlooked and stuff because they had their favorites, they had people that they knew, and you know, they gave their #1 award to someone else and not to me, the foreigner, the newbie. Despite one of the judges come up to me afterwards saying that my film was actually his favorite film, and I asked him, you know, why couldn't you put a word forward? He's like, well, he's got overruled, so what can you do? You know, it's the way of life. But either way, the most important thing about Junkmail, Yao Yao Shi, was that we based it on a real guy that nobody ever saw or knew, but all we had was his leftover mail, and that's what spawned the idea, because he basically fled the country. He must have done, since he had parking fines building up for about a year into thousands of pounds and or dollars even. And yeah, we never heard of the guy or saw him again, but we made this little film on him and took sole copyright over his property, if you will. So we kept the letters and we used them in the film as props. And again, it's one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had, because I really bonded with some of the guys. I became friends with them through that film, and then stayed friends with them until they left New Zealand 1.5 years later. So it's still my first year. I was still quite fresh there, you know, finding my feet, finding out who my friends were and all that. But anyway, so the highlight of the film was that we had 2 world champions, one beatbox and one hacky sack, or footbag as it's known there. Now, the footbag guy, he went to Massey University, so there was no problem getting him. The beatbox guy I brought on board because I saw him around Wellington. I chatted to him a few guys. He's a big, lovable teddy bear, king homeboy. He's a big guy, but you know, he's sweet, sweet soul. So I asked him, he showed up like a true professional, he did his bits. Now the sad thing is I had to do a 3-minute edit, and he actually got cut out quite a lot. Not totally, but some of his best beatboxing bits, which is why obviously I used them, got cut, which was a shame, and I felt really bad having to tell him. But in the end, you know, I'm really happy with the result. I did an extended cut as well, and I like both of them equally well. If I had to choose, the extended cut is better. So if you have a choice, watch the extended cut, alright? Because it's got a bit more of a king homeboy in his beatboxing. Now, John Knott, who I made the film with, he was a stills photographer, so he wasn't technically inept either. You know, he was actually quite skilled, and he did a lot of the editing and some of the effects. And for a first timer, I gotta say, I was very impressed with some of his transitions and all that, because at that point I was just starting to edit myself. You know, like I didn't really become an editor yet. There was more that year when I edited about 100 little promos and skate videos and my documentary and all that, where I kind of started, you know, becoming a master at Windows Movie Maker. The next year I moved on to Magix, which is a German editing software, which is way better, quite easy to use, but now I'm on Premiere, I never go back. But at the time I was still doing Windows Movie Maker, you know, and milking it to every penny. But yeah, so we did the film. You know, the weather really cooperated with us. My car is in the film as well, or my car at the time, which I miss dearly. It's Toyota Celica, and yeah, I find you'll like it, because I don't know, that and my other one, Medication for Unknown, were, you know, 2 years, or the 2 films I did in the first year. So I'm quite proud of them, because I had a lot of energy still at the time. I was really motivated, doing lots of videos, going for meetings, working on my script for the feature film, Tiny Font, and all that. So I'd say it's one of the most productive years I had, and this is the proof for it, okay? So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Junkmail. Delete it? Yes or no? Yes. Oh! Message deleted.